much. So a couple things I wanted to note, and I know I want to let you get to the other half of the presentation. One, I'm hearing for the locations that are identified, that we want to make sure that we get location data follow-up for each of those locations. It doesn't sound like everybody's gotten that. For Paco Sanchez, yes, it's an area of need, but I wouldn't always say that it's an area of need because of violent gun crime. Because the area that we're looking at is also a place of rampant drug use, a lot of overnight sleeping underneath a bridge, along the gulch, and deaths along Federal Boulevard. So to Councilwoman Romero Campbell's point, there's other data that speaks to what might be happening in this area, more so than just violent gun crime statistics. And so that absolutely should be a part of it. Otherwise, it is an incomplete data presentation of what's happening in that area and whether or not it's improving. So I really want that to be an expanded profile. We only had 8 violent gun crime incidences in the area for District 3 in all of 2023. That's the lowest of these 5. But it is still an area that I want the city to be focusing on. So I don't want to take it off of the radar because I want this kind of multi-department, bring in RTED, bring in Denver Housing Authority, like all of those partners matter to this picture. But it isn't just that data point that matters to this area and where we would see improvement. So that would be my plea around that. Because if you were just looking at violent gun crime, we would be back in Westwood. Because it isn't just this location for gun crime. The other piece for me is to Councilwoman Sawyer's point around all of the other ways that we've supported these communities or the ways that we think support would help. Neighborhood activation grants, ARPA funding, and CDBG funding have been immensely helpful in the Westwood neighborhood and at that Federal and Alameda location, and we're not going to see that money again. So we've got to pick it back up. We're also putting in a new library there and a new rec center there, to Councilwoman Lewis's point. So it is that full profile of kind of what actually sustains a community apart from kind of one-shot resource kind of infusion. So that would be my plea around what success would look like.
Great feedback. I think that is useful. We will definitely incorporate it. I think that would be helpful to